When I was a young boy, I eagerly anticipated the approach of each Christmas season. To me, it was a really magical time. In fact, even today, many decades later, I experience a veritable flood of pleasant memories as each Christmas season rolls around. My memories include homes and streets decorated with colorful lights, Christmas trees trimmed according to family tradition, beautiful music, delicious food, and especially family activities. In fact, I can still see my siblings and I sitting around on the living room floor, poring over huge catalogs from Sears and J.C. Penney, trying to decide what we were going to ask Santa Claus for. Well, one of our family's favorite traditions was attending the annual Christmas dinner at the Oak Ridge Country Club in Farmington, Utah, where my grandparents were members. The original architecture of the building was mid-century modern, and I can still remember looking through the glass wall on the east side out over the snowy golf course toward the distant peaks of the Wasatch. To me, it was a winter wonderland, very serene and cozy. The memory of one of those Christmas dinners, December 1963, will always be special to me because of something very special that happened that evening to shape my life in a profound way. We had just arrived and found our family's assigned seating in the dining room, and as soon as we'd done so, I set out to admire all the beautiful decorations, as was my little tradition. As I walked about, I noticed beautiful music coming from the corner of the room, and I felt strangely drawn to it. As I approached, I soon noticed a gentleman sitting at what I later discovered was a Hammond organ, and he was playing a beautiful song which I couldn't remember ever having heard before. I gently leaned against the organ and listened to this man play. I couldn't believe that somebody could produce such beautiful music. When he finished the piece, this kind man turned to me, he smiled and said, "Did you like that song, son?" I told him I did. I said I thought it was beautiful. And then he said this, "Well, if you get a piano, take lessons, and you're willing to practice, someday you'll be able to play like me." Well, I was so excited I basically skipped back to the family table. In fact, I don't remember much of what happened the rest of that evening, except all the way home, I begged my mom and dad to get me a piano so that I could learn to play like that kind man. Well, my parents relented and procured a used piano for me and decided they'd invest in piano lessons. I just turned 8 years old, and I practiced that piano faithfully for the next 7 years. My piano teacher, Mr. Christensen, who invited me to call him Robert, was a great keyboardist who played with several different bands. He was an outstanding teacher, and he taught me how to play many different genres, basically everything from classical to rock. When I was 14, he informed me that he was going to go on tour with the rock band, and I was absolutely devastated. Before he left, he referred me to another piano teacher who he claimed would help me take my ability to a whole new level. Miss Prigmore was a very accomplished pianist, and she encouraged me to focus on classical music. In fact, I was actually learning Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 2 in C minor, all 100 pages of it, when I walked away from piano lessons at 15. It's not that I'd lost my love for the piano, it's just that my heart was being drawn towards other activities and pursuits. Miss Prigmore told my mother, who later told me, that I had the ability to become a concert pianist if I would have been willing to dedicate my life to the piano. Well, my swan song was playing my own 20-minute arrangement of Elgar's Pomp and Circumstance at our junior high graduation ceremony as my classmates walked across the stage. Through the years, I continued to enjoy playing the piano, and I performed for numerous functions at different venues. In fact, in the 80s, when keyboard technology was exploding, I actually picked up a couple of keyboards, created my own one-man band business, and started playing paid gigs. During one holiday season, I was hired to play background music at a company party. The venue was decorated lavishly, and in the corner was a big black grand piano that had been provided for me to play. Well into my first set, I just happened to look out the window that was adjacent to my piano at the snow-covered golf course towards the distant peaks. It was then that I realized I, Mark Swain, was playing at Oak Ridge Country Club. my mind immediately traveled back in time to that special December evening in 1963 in that same room where I'd heard a man playing a beautiful song, and that man had encouraged me to take lessons and practice and learn to play like him. When I finished the song I was currently playing, I worked that special song from 1963 into my set, and I'd like to play it for you folks. As I finished playing Moon River by Henry Mancini, I'm sure that no one noticed, but tears had formed in both my eyes because I realized that basically my music career had come full circle. As I drove home from that gig, long streets decorated with colored lights that warmed the snowy landscape, I marveled at just how powerful those kind words of encouragement had been to me all those years ago. Did you like that song, son? Well, if you get a piano, take lessons, and you're willing to practice, someday you'll be able to play like me. My friends, today I understand the incredible effect words of encouragement can have in shaping a young person's life. On a special night clear back in 1963, a kind and knowing soul shared a gift of music with me and wrapped that beautiful gift with a bow of encouragement that literally transformed my young life. Wherever you are, kind sir, I thank you for your wonderful gift.